pages. It's a bit of a story. True story.
Ooh.
Happened in July, 14th of July 2024. And this is called Upner to Gravesend. Meaningful dark clouds roll over with a backdrop of blue. Flat straw-coloured land spreads. I haven't read it that much. Meaningful dark clouds roll around, and with a backdrop of blue, flat straw-coloured land spreads. Anchored boats sit on a falling tide. I can feel this vista imprinting, filtering, sinking and settling in me. I make a mental note. I get a message from Jane. Would you like to sail Astara with me from the River Medway to Gravesend? The forecast is good. Astara is a traditional wooden sailing boat, painted bright yellow with earthy reddish sails. She is gorgeous, 16 foot and engineless. Yes, I say, without second thought. There are many factors to consider when sailing. Tide, weather, and the wind is very changeable. Plan A. Sail up to the mouth of the Medway and check conditions. Plan B. Follow Plan A to the estuary. If it's too windy, return to Upner having had a great sail. We arrive at the boat club laden with a dry bag and warm clothes, a change of clothes, hats, waterproofs, suntan cream, life jackets, energy snacks, food and water for the day. You never know what's going to happen. The forecast sounds promising. Southwesterly force 3 winds. These are moderate breezes where tree branches begin to sway and our sails are filled. There's a lot to do on board. Fixing the rudder in place, lowering the centre plate, checking the anchor, sorting out ropes. Our kit packed in every nook and cranny, and Astara's sails are raised. We will be using the falling tide to speed us down the Medway, arriving where 2 rivers meet, a low water, and then the flood tide will help take us up the Thames. We sail out of Upner with St Mary's Island opposite, passing Hoo Marina and Dannet Fort. Here the river begins to open out. The wind drops, the sails are slack, and we splash along at a slow pace, all the time looking, watching and adjusting course, responding to the wind. Then it returns. It's behind us, pushing us along. The mainsail starts to balloon to the left, and the small jib sail balloons to the right. This is a great course. Jane holds the tiller steady, and we goosewing down the River Medway. It's a beautiful sight. I take the tiller and feel the power of this little boat, solid, sturdy and rugged, listening to my skipper's words intensely. Keep the sail full, with a distant landmark in view to guide you. I follow the instructions as if my life depended on it. Then the river changes course, so we must change course, adjusting ourselves before goose-winging again. Wind behind us, arriving at the mouth of the Medway, Sheerness to the right, Isle of Grain to the left, and I am keen to carry on. The conditions are in our favour. The forecast is holding steady. It was a resounding yes from both of us. Let's press on to Gravesend. Well, we will need to tack, sail against the southeasterly wind, by moving in a zigzag line from one side of the river to the other, harnessing great gusts. This is a commitment. It's 30 nautical miles, and that's without tacking. I'm wide-eyed. The breath is taken from me by the amount of water being pushed and pulled in the Thames at sea reach. Huge ships are powering through, open skies, clouds and estuary. With no motor, we must work with Astara. The wind and the tide will take us home. We settle into many zigzagging tacks. There seems little movement, but we are edging up the Thames. I start to pick out familiar landmarks of the Hoo Peninsula. All Hallows was easy, and then St Mary's Bay, Egypt Bay with its gleaming white shells, Northwood Hill, and all those birds that live there. I search for the stretch of concrete sea defence of cliff marshes. Here I take part in extreme litter picks. It's a hard landscape to pick up rubbish. Often the weather is against you. To be sure-footed is important. Multicoloured micro rubbish sits under seaweed. Plastic, and more plastic. It all feels hopeless at times, but the human spirit is indomitable. What a great sight to see St James's Church at Cooling, a tiny square tower lost amongst the marsh. At 6 p.m, Astara is off Alpha Quay at the mouth of Cliff Creek, once a busy little port. I've only ever seen it from the land, and it looks enticing from where I sit. The spire of St Mary's comes into view. She is nestled, sitting quietly. How many pilgrims and sailors have longed to be sitting inside her walls? It's a race now. Gravesend Sailing Club, it's a race now to get to Gravesend Sailing Club before we run out of flood tide. Will we get there? We push on and on tacking and getting some extra long runs in. It takes an age to get around the corner of High and Bight. The town is inching closer, but the tide is slowing down. 8 hours of sailing. A perfect evening, a spotless sky, and I'm dreaming of solid ground. If we don't beat the tide, the skipper is musing the possibility of anchoring and sleeping on the boat. Oh no, Harry has come home and is cooking up a feast. With that, we are even more determined to get there. At Denton, the club is now a short distance away. We must arrive before tide turns. So close, and yet so far. And now the wind has dropped, which is what we needed to stay. The river will drain quickly, pushing us back, revealing banks of mud. We tack and tack and tack inshore towards Gordon Prom. Then at the right time we get the oars out and row like crazy. We take it in turns, determined, closer and closer. We reach the pontoon. It is such a feeling of joy and relief. We cheer, clap and hug. We are home! But there's no time to sit back, as we need to stow the boat carefully. Astara is hoisted on a crane and lowered onto her trailer. A still evening with the sun on the edge of the horizon. A great cheer goes up from a distant pub. England has scored a goal. A taxi takes us home to a fantastic feast and much laughter. An epic 10-hour sail, and Astara got us back safe. What a team, what adventure. And I think most of you have seen this, but this is the book. Woo! with lots of artwork in it, and a QR code which takes you to me reading them with music.
Oh.